What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. As you guys clicked the video, you saw the title. It's Week 9 picks for the NFL. We're going to be picking the whole Week 9 slate, giving you guys some tips of why I think this team is going to win, why I think this team is going to lose. If you're a betting person, you can use my tips in your betting, in your parlays, whatever you want to do. The community tab, I keep everyone updated on the overall rank or on the overall score of what I did last week. For the first week, I did really well. I was positive record-wise, and I think it was a separation of 5 games. I think I went 12-5. I could be very wrong with that, though, but I could be overly confident. But I know we did well. It was a good outing for me personally. I hope you guys enjoyed the first video. Just some housekeeping things. One, I have some better lighting coming. I have a better microphone coming. And I'm going to be working on the background more for you guys. Hopefully, I can get my bed out of the way. I try to make it look nice every time. But as far as the jerseys, we're going to try and maybe mix and match the jerseys a little bit more. Add something right here. And we're also going to be looking towards getting a better camera. So I'm filming on my phone. And because I'm filming on my phone, it's just the best camera I have. My computer camera, as you saw, if you watched the ranking the NBA courts video, it's very warm. It's very yellow. And it looks okay if it's in a smaller version, but just having it in a full screen version like this, where I'm talking a lot, doesn't look good. So we're looking at upgrades with that. We've got a lot of stuff coming in from Amazon. If you guys have any tips or advice or what you want to see in the background, let me know down in the comment section. Also, shout out Pat and Devin. The original video was filmed with these guys in it. I thought they had a lot of good analysis. But unfortunately, with the upgrades I need, one of them is my PC. I have to get it cleaned. I have to get it upgraded with some different things like storage, RAM. And that takes a little bit of time and a little bit of money. So I'm saving up for that right now. But just know that upgrades are coming, and the video production will get better as we go. But yeah, man, with all that out of the way, let's start with the Week 9 picks. Kansas City, Miami kicks off Week 9 over in Germany. It is a 9 a.m. start. I'm taking Kansas City for one reason and one reason only: their defense. I think the defense is played really well. Defense has played really well for them this year. The offense for Kansas City has struggled. The offense for Miami hasn't struggled. They haven't beat a good team yet. That's kind of the noise going on for these guys right now. I personally would like to see Miami win against Kansas City so they can kind of shut that up and we can kind of look at the Dolphins as real contenders. But I don't think that happens. I think Kansas City wins because of their defense. I think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes for a reason. I think he finds a way to win the game, even if it's a close one. Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City for Game 1. Moving on to Game 2, this is the start of the 1 o'clock slate. We got Chicago, New Orleans. What a game, right? 2 offenses that have been amazing. The first thing I'll be looking at is, did New Orleans find something last week in Indianapolis with their offense, or was it a one-off? Did they find something during the week with timing from Derek Carr and his receivers, or was it a one-off? But I'm picking New Orleans anyway for 2 reasons. One reason, the uncertainty at quarterback for Chicago. They're starting Tyson Bagent, I believe. This is his 3rd game starting. He looked okay through his first 3 starts. His first game was really good. Second game struggled. 3rd game, I predict he's going to struggle because the New Orleans defense is really, really good. They're a top 10 defense in the league. You can argue with that if you want, but I believe they're a top 10 defense in the league, and I think they're going to shut it down. I think we're fully healthy on the defensive side of the ball, so I think we're going to be okay, and I'm going to take New Orleans. Moving on to Game 3, this is a game I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking forward to: Seattle and Baltimore. Seattle is first in their division right now, which is a surprise with teams like the Niners being in there. But yeah, the Seahawks are number 1 in their division. Baltimore, number 1 in their division. So this is a head-on-head versus 2 number 1s in their respective divisions. I'm taking Baltimore. I think Lamar stays hot. I think that the defense has played really well. For me, Seattle is somewhat a team that, I said this last week, they're very up and down. And I think that has a lot to do with Geno. Now, don't kill me, West Virginia fans. I love Geno just as much as you do. But he hasn't played his best football this year. I think we saw his best last year. And I think he's shown us some streaks this year of his best football. It's just been inconsistent. They have the team to go. They have a defense. They just made some trades at the deadline. They have the receivers. Jackson Smith and Njigba has played really well over the past few games. So there's a lot of good for both teams. I think the X factor in this game will be Lamar. He's trying to win that second MVP. He's trying to win a Super Bowl. Arizona, Cleveland. I believe Clayton Tune is starting for the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray is officially questionable, looking towards next week to get his first start of the season. So that's pretty cool, seeing a guy come back from a ACL injury. Shout out to and congrats to Kyler Murray. Cleveland will be starting Deshaun Watson, I believe. If it's not Watson, it's P.J. Walker. None of that kind of changes who I'm picking. I'm picking Cleveland. They are on a historic pace. Their defensive side of the ball is on a historic pace, I should say. I'm taking Cleveland with the uncertainty at quarterback for Arizona. I think that Clayton Tune's going to, it's going to suck that he has to play that defense for his first game ever in an NFL uniform. So I'm taking Cleveland. Moving on to Tampa Bay and Houston, man, what a game. We've got two teams that have played a bit better than what people thought coming into the season. C.J. Stroud has been by far and away, in my opinion, the best rookie quarterback. He struggled the past few weeks, but still has played better, in my opinion, than Bryce Young. Tampa Bay, I've seen a lot of them. I've watched a lot of them with them being in the Saints division. Defense is strong. You've got two stud wide receivers. Everyone knows that. And then you've got Baker, who's played really well this far this season. I'm taking Houston. I think it's going to be a bit of an upset game, and it could be because I'm a C.J. Stroud fan. But yeah, I'm going to take Houston. I think that they get another win. I think that makes them 4-4 on the season, if I'm correct. Something that nobody thought would be happening. Moving on, Minnesota, Atlanta. Jaron Hall will be starting for the Vikings, even though they just traded for Josh Dobbs. I think it's a bit too soon to roll Josh Dobbs out on a new offense just 5 days after the trade deadline. Atlanta is starting Taylor Heineke over Desmond Ridder after an injury pushed him to the bench, and they decided to ride with Heineke. I think that Atlanta wins. I think that Heineke, what we saw with him in Washington, where he was able to lead his team, guys tend to just like him. He's a locker room guy. Everyone likes him. I think that Atlanta has a lot of weapons. Atlanta has Drake London. Atlanta has a Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. Their defense is really good. They have the Joker, Cordero Patterson. They've got a bunch of guys who you look at and you go, this team should be winning more than what they are winning. And whether you say that's a lack of quarterback play, which I would agree with, I don't think Desmond Ridder is the guy. I think Heineke is a step above Ridder. I think that he will give them a good chance to win a lot more games and maybe vie for that first position in the NFC South. So I'm taking Atlanta. Rams at Green Bay. I'm taking Green Bay. They have their starting quarterback. The Rams, Matthew Stafford, is out, I believe, with a thumb injury. So I'm taking Green Bay, even though their offense has looked just pretty bad, is the best way I can put it. I'm taking Green Bay just for the fact that they have their quarterback. I think this is going to be a low-scoring field goal contest. And if I were you, I wouldn't put it on the quad box today for the games. Washington, New England. I'm taking New England. I think that Washington, since they were sellers at the deadline, losing two of their biggest parts on the defense, Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Shout out that boy for getting a bag from Chicago. I think he got like $76 million guaranteed. The news broke the other day. And so I think New England is one of those teams that's always going to be in it, that's always going to play hard. They're not really worried about draft picks at the end of the year. They're going to win games. They want to win games. Bill Belichick wants to win games. That's their culture. That's what it's always been. So I'm going to take New England. Moving on to the Giants and Raiders. I put in my notes here on my computer, I have no effing clue because I have no clue who wins this game. The backup for the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell, is playing. I think Danny Dimes is playing for the Giants. That doesn't move me in any way. Some of the other games you've heard me say that if they have their quarterback playing, their normal starting quarterback playing, that I'll lean towards them. I don't think Danny Dimes moves the needle for me. I think that In this specific case, he hasn't played well. He's coming off a neck injury, which is just scary in general for the human being he is. So hope he's okay. Obviously, if they're letting him play, he's got to be cleared by some sort of medical doctor. And I don't know. I really don't know. I'll pick the Giants, I guess. They were also sellers at the deadline, getting rid of Leonard Williams, trading him to Seattle. I'll pick the Giants just because, or you know what? I'll pick the Raiders because they fired their head coach. They're getting an interim head coach, and those guys tend to play, not those guys specifically, but teams specifically tend to play harder for interim head coaches. I'm going to pick the Raiders over the Giants, and it's going to get really loud in New York for Giants fans because they're going to be pissed when the interim head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders comes in and beats them with their quarterback they just paid $140 million to. Moving on, this is the game of the week. There's another game later we'll talk about, Sunday Night Football, you guys know, I'm sure. But Dallas, Philadelphia, man, this game is going to be so much fun. I think if you're a Dallas fan, you're hoping to hang with the Eagles. I think you're trying to prove something because you're tired of hearing the inconsistent Cowboys. They can do it one Sunday, they can't do it the next. Can they do it against good teams? I'm looking for Dallas to have a big game. I think they've taken a lot of crap in the media and from their fans saying they can't beat good teams. They can't be consistent. I think they come out, but unfortunately, and I said this in last video, I'm on the Hurts-Brown bandwagon until the wheels fall off. Jalen Hurts is that guy. A.J. Brown is that guy. I think Philadelphia wins. I do think it's a bit closer than some of the other games that Dallas has played against big contenders, most notably the 49ers. It got really ugly for them. But I think them coming off a good win, big win against the Rams, I think the confidence is high for those guys. I think they come in, make it a closer game. It's an in-division rivalry game. Those games tend to get a bit more ugly anyway. I lean towards Philadelphia, though. I'm taking Philadelphia. For the last 4 o'clock game, it's Indianapolis, Carolina. This is another one. I have no idea. Gardner Minshew is still starting for the Colts. Bryce Young is starting for the Panthers. So there's no real way to look at it from that perspective. I will lean towards Indianapolis. I think the defense is a little bit better. They've got some bigger, if anything, they have bigger names. Shaq Leonard, Kenny Moore, those guys. And so I think that their defense steps up and gets a win versus Bryce Young, and he does not get his second win of the season. I feel bad for Bryce. I really do. Moving on, man. Sunday Night Football. The football gods have blessed us with a great game. They have truly blessed us with a great game. Cincinnati, Buffalo. Buffalo is at Cincinnati for the first time since the unfortunate Damar Hamlin accident. They also played in the playoffs, and Cincinnati rolled over Buffalo at Buffalo. If you guys remember that game last year, it was not close. The notes I have is JB is back, plain and simple. Just as much as I am on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon, I am on the Joe Burrow bandwagon. The guy is cool, calm, and collected 24/7. He never flinches. He never any of that. He is that guy. As you can see, I have a Josh Allen jersey. I'm a Josh Allen fan. I think I might hang a Joe Burrow jersey right here because I'm just a fan of how he plays quarterback. I'm a fan of how Jamar Chase runs routes, and he's just a physical receiver. He's just bigger than everybody. You know what I mean? He'll catch the ball and he'll go. It doesn't matter where it's at. He's going to go get it, and he's going to get his quarterback extra yards. I look for this, and I hope for this to be a good game. Sunday Night Football games, in my opinion, have lacked over the past couple weeks. And I think that this is a very big game. Buffalo is trying to get and right the ship with a W, be a massive W. Cincinnati is continuing trying to build off of their last week's win against the 49ers. They've played so well over the past few weeks. I think that Cincinnati wins this by at least a touchdown. I really do. I think it might be a last-second touchdown because the defense for the Bills, they've picked up a few guys. They traded for Rasul Douglas from the Packers. And then they also, I also forgot to tell you guys, if you didn't know, they signed Lombardi Lenny. Leonard Fournette is now in the backfield for the Bills with a 1-2 punch. They're hoping it'll be a 1-2 punch of James Cook and Leonard Fournette. We'll have to see. I don't know if he's playing this week because it was fairly recently that he got signed to their practice squad and got elevated. But yeah, like I said, I'm taking Cincinnati in this game. And that's the Week 9 picks. If you guys want to know my Monday Night Football pick, make sure you tune into TikTok. That's where it'll be. About to film that right after this. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.